and welcome to Alive. This is the What I Need podcast. I'm your host, King Carlton. I'd like to start off with saying I am thankful for my well-being. And I'm thankful for the well-being of others. Just holding into a moments of well-being refreshes our mind, body, and spirit to the fact that well-being is life. It's not just something that you want to have, kind of there. It's, I mean, if we don't have well-being for ourselves and hopefully there for others, that's letting a doorway for a lot of chaos and other things. I mean, it doesn't have to be all the way up to chaos, but I mean, essentially, what are we inviting into our mental, physical, spiritual bubble if we don't say it, and we don't never really come across saying something about what we are welcome to. What's being welcomed? And just because you don't speak on it, I don't think that that doesn't mean something's not on the way or something's not trying to get what it can get from you. So what do we invite? What do we invite into our space? What do we invite into our psyche, our whereabouts? Because you are a part of this somewhere and something that's going on. And as a human being, I think what we kind of sometimes forget is as a human being, we get the ability to kind of choose and ask and command what it is that we want. Some people may say, "Oh, I'm getting to my bag." You might have heard that before, right? "Oh, I'm gonna get mine." I think when it comes to money, it's easy for us to say what we're gonna get when it comes to a financial situation, because we've been all taught in this country of capitalism that you better be getting to a bag. But obviously, there's more. Surprise. Cash might not rule everything around you. It actually, it might be a different C word. Like consciousness rules everything around you. And what you're consciously calling on is more than just money. So I'm gonna get to the bag. Let's change. Let's upgrade those callings out, as we might have been constantly calling to the bag, calling to the hustle, calling to, and that's, hey, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying let's upgrade the flavor of that, because unfortunately, I have seen a lot. Not unfortunately, actually, the things that I've had to bear witness to, I guess it was meant. And I don't know how I can say this without it being, I don't know. I've had a friend recently pass away that was living a life that was projected onto our community. That's how I'll say that. Living a lifestyle that was projected onto our Black community to hustle. and to make money in that way. That's as much of that as I can say. And in my time of being around certain things and being around this friend, I developed a concern because their vision and their awareness and attention was very honed in on the attributes of that lifestyle, to the point where, yes, they were very successful with what they would do. But I had a fear for them for a long time. Because I'm like, you're only paying attention to this. You're only paying attention to this this level of things that you've been shown is a pathway for you, and it's not really that part that it's like, how can I say this? I have no judgment for what people end up doing and feeling like they had to do in this world of gross capitalism and money making. We have lived in a society that has really pushed this whole money making thing to the limit, not only at a corporate level, but at a street level. And I was having a conversation with a different friend the other day, saying that the differences that go on at a corporate level with certain the hunger for it at the top is very similar to the hunger for it that would reside at the bottom. To the point where it's almost like, I'm not going to glorify what's going on at this high level, and then look at what goes on the low level, the street level, as, oh, that needs to, both get your act together. Both get your act together. So just to, and I have to say this in a certain way, because people like to twist up words. People like to convolute the situation. People like to say, oh, yeah, and it's just like, no, say something about it for real. Something's going on. And it's been going on. And people are living under a certain understanding and also dying to that certain understanding. And it's sad because there was a whole greater understanding that they could have had the whole time. I'm thankful for my well-being, and I'm thankful for the well-being of others. We could start simply there. The money is going to still be there after I'm walking to it with well-being for myself and for others, holding a vibration of well-being for myself and others. And there's nothing going to stop me from getting to the same bag that somebody is bloodthirsty over, the same bag that somebody would sell out this and that community for. It's not the highest understanding, and people, it's sad to see people coming and going, and then it's just too bad. And it's like, oh, it's just a moment of silence now, because doesn't nobody have an answer for it? Hello, excuse me, I have an answer for that. It's called develop a higher understanding from whatever standpoint you are in life. I don't care if you run in the streets and hustle in the streets. Develop a higher understanding immediately, because that is not the only thing that's going on. And that level of understanding will get your ass killed, took up out of here, and then everybody will be sitting around just like it's too bad. It's unfortunate. And it's really what I'm concerned about the brothers in that regard, because who is coming to help us out is usually only us, because the rest of it have been set into motion on purpose. It wasn't not like really an accident for it to seem like, it's not really an accident that every single song that's popular that we listen to is seeming to sound like. So how long do we go on and sit up without a, how long do we go on and sit up as if, what did Kendrick say? It's an apocalypse happening, but nobody's alarmed or something. He said it on Damn. So, what is this episode about? Really, this episode is just about me staying on top of putting out something, like I said, every week, and saying something that is, just to open my mouth and say something into the atmosphere of what's on and what's out there. Because one more day going by with it just being another song about Molly Percocet. One more day going by without it being, that every bitch is a hoe. One more day going by with these niggas ain't shit as the status quo on the internet. I'll pass. I'll get on here and say something, even if it wasn't a cohesive episode, and I'm just talking. That still goes out, that still has the potential to be in some algorithm, that still has the potential to be shared by some individual, that still has an opportunity to hit that one person and them to be like, damn, I ain't never really think of it like that. Or I was thinking about it like that, but I just thought I'm the only person that thinks of it like that. Let me tell you what, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because I'm thinking about it too. Enough that I cut this on, sit up here and just run off the top of the dome for whatever, 12 minutes. Let me get into something that's, where can we take this then? Let me take a moment. Because it let me tell you, I started a new job this week. Let me put it in perspective. I started a new job this week, and I work in a warehouse that sells farming and agricultural equipment. Agricultural, you can hardly say it. To farmers and such in the Midwest here. I'm in Michigan, and it's really cool. They sell those materials or whatever, anything that you would possibly need for your farm and stuff, fencing and tarps and materials to spray. Make sure there's not bugs and stuff. Some of that stuff is necessary, I suppose. Obviously it is actually. And a bunch of other stuff. I mean, it's a warehouse full of this stuff, right? And the first day I was in there. The second day that I was in there, I'm getting used to working around in there, and they have me pick up the trash in the aisles, so these high-lows can come in. It's a huge factory, and they just put together orders. So it might be a pallet, but it puts together for the farmers. Okay, we're gonna put these item, this, and that item on the pallet. Nice big old pallet, wrap it up, send it out to the farm. So it's not like regular shopping, like you go to Home Depot and you put the stuff in your cart. It's more like a really big box store, like bigger than a Costco type concept here, where somebody has to go and pick out on a high-low the items that you need, and they put them on a big old pallet, wrap it up, and send it to you, right? So that's how that works. And I was cleaning up the aisleways, and I asked. This was an interesting practice, but I asked, the universe or my higher self or just the experience. I asked my experience to teach me what's going on with this job through the job. To teach me about something through my day about what I'm doing right now and what does it display into the bigger picture. And what I was told is like, I got a real sense of preparation being so important to the next step of preparing a potential paradise of opportunity or the next. What is it? What is the area that I'm working in? It's supporting growth. It's supporting sustenance. It's supporting nourishment, nutrition, farming. Farming, people got to eat. The farming, the things has to grow. So I'm like, okay, that's like garden. So I'm supporting, personally, I could be supporting my next evolution and my next personal garden. I could be supporting the garden on a social level, nourishment on a social level. So I'm not just picking up trash. And I'm not just picking up trash figuratively for these people. I'm kind of in the position that I'm in. And I kind of told some of that story on the last episode. In the position that I'm in, I'm kind of picking up debris. We constantly, we constantly can be going through this clearing of debris, whether internally, whether figuratively, understanding traumas, understanding emotions, understanding our past. It's clearing the way for something future to emerge, right? For something that is going to grow healthily, going to provide a nurturing to what's coming next. So yeah, it is kind of giving farm or garden. Physically in that moment, actually in my own personal life, even for, what I feel the whole world needs next. For us to process what's been going on here, process the bigger picture, we're not really against each other because we can't be. We're all here together. So there's no way, all that idea of against. Against who? Who are you going against? Oh, a war? Russia versus Ukraine? What you going on? Against? Y'all on the same planet. Israel, Gaza. But wait a second. You right there, you've been right there next to each other. It ain't no problem with that. What's the real problem? The ego. Okay, well, that'll get everybody killed. We keep playing around with that. And understanding that that's debris, working off of our ego, it can go all the way up to war. Between nations, working off the ego can go all the way up to war between nations. This is a mental and spiritual debris. You clear that out the way. What do we have room for? But they were attacking. Who's attacking for what? What's the purpose? Well, they don't like. So they've identified that they are different from another human being. Are they? In what way are they different from another human being? So, consciously, those understandings begin to collapse because it's not real. It's a false reality. So when people say false reality and stuff, we're not talking about it being like a digital world. I'm talking about it being a false understanding creating a false reality. We had to go to war with them. They're different from us. In what way? Oh well. No, we're all humans. Human race. There's only one. So what was the problem? Oh, you just don't like them because you found something that you feel it makes you different, makes you better. Oh, you're better. So we might as well drop a bomb on them because you feel better than them. And that's logic. That kind of logic is destruction. So consciously, once people start understanding, that old understanding is on some bullshit. And we don't want to do that no more. It's clearing the debris out the way, and it's making possible a much higher standard and quality of life available. So I know it was kind of hard to get out, but I would like for everybody in their own way to just take a look at what is just egotistical destruction in my life, in my own personal life, and how can I just let it go? Am I perpetuating a me versus them situation that don't really exist? And that's really too much trouble to deal with. Would it be less trouble to just let that go? As it goes for us against ourselves, I just pray that, honestly, I just pray that the brothers and sisters that are on the level of get it how you live, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm worried about y'all. And it's not irrelevant that I worry about you. And it's not stupid that I worried about you. And obviously somebody sees value in you. Obviously somebody, wants to hear your voice again. And when somebody asks you to take a closer look at yourself, it's not always from a standpoint of they just don't think you're doing right. They may very well understand that you're doing the best you can, but that you're much more capable than what you think, and that there's much more for you. There's much more for you left on the table than just passing money underneath it. Passing this and that around underneath the table. There's more for you on the table. And some of us are desperately trying to let you know that before it's too late. And you are cared about. At this point, you are missed. And it did have an effect, when some of us got that call. So, this has been the What I Need podcast, kind of an all over the place episode, but I'm glad to be here to deliver one. And I thank you guys for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ashe.